Saruman has tasked you with a dangerous mission. Journey up the Misty Mountain's southern peak in search of the orc, Mugash, and capture him alive. Hello, and welcome to the latest episode of the Line Unbroken, my progression-style playthrough of the Lord of the Rings living card game. Here I'm playing the second scenario in the Voice of Isengard deluxe expansion, to catch an orc. So, for the setup here, each player removes the top 20 cards of his deck and places them aside as an out-of-play deck. So, I'll go here, move to secondary, 20. And I've already done it for this deck. Because, of course, playing two-handed, if I had to do it from the other window before switching over. Because if I here went to move to secondary, however many, then it would move cards from this deck to... Actually, no, it wouldn't move them to this deck's secondary deck. I think when I tried it, it moved them to the secondary encounter deck, which was really confusing. Now, the first player takes Mugash plus 1 Mugash's guard. Here's Mugash and 1 Mugash's guard, which I'm going to flip them over and try and line them up. So randomly shuffles 1 face down into each player's out-of-play deck. It's 1 Mugash's guard for each other player in the game, which is 1. So I'm just going to hit the page down a bunch of times so that I don't know which is which. And put 1 in here. And 1 in here. Shuffle those. The other 2 Mugash's guards I've just set aside here, out of play. I'll quickly opening hands. I've got Steward, at least a couple of horses. Not great though. Here I've got Light of Arnor, I've got Deep Knowledge. Looks alright. So, Mugash and his orcs have been raiding the surrounding countryside from their hidden lair in Methadras, and carrying loot and captives back to the mountains. It's time to put an end to this menace. When revealed, each player searches the encounter deck for a mountain location and adds it to the staging area. Shuffle the encounter deck, then advance to stage 2. So, of course, the whole thing with all the mountain locations is the fact that they allow us to search our out-of-play decks. So I'm going to simply take 2 copies of Methadras because they, although they have the negative aspect that while they're active they add threat to locations in the staging area, they are in fact only 2 threat each, and they allow each player to search 3. See, the Orc Cave here, when you explore it, the first player searches 5, but that's only the first player. So Methadras is better all round because it allows both players to search. So, orcs prowl the mountainside on the lookout for intruders. A single horn call from one of the sentries would have every orc in Methadras scurrying out of their holes to fight. You must move carefully to avoid detection while you search for their captain. Time 2. Forced, after the last time counter is removed from this stage, shuffle the discard pile into the encounter deck and reveal 2 encounter cards per player. Place 2 time counters on this stage. Response: after questing successfully, cancel all progress that would be placed on this stage, then place 1 time counter on this stage, or if Mugash is in play, advance to stage 3. So, this is the thing. The time will tick down until we are found and more orcs are alerted, but we can tick the time back up by questing well, effectively doing a good job of staying out of sight. So, let's Control N and begin the game. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is to play Deep Knowledge Doomed 2 and have each deck draw 2 cards. Okay, and then here I'll play Darren's Runes, draw 2 more and discard this hidden cache. Right, now I have not managed to find a seeing stone on either side, which is slightly irksome, because of course I was planning to use the seeing stones not for their standard purpose of actually digging out additional doomed cards, though I can do that, but simply to see what is still in my deck, and thus, by process of elimination, what is in the out-of-play deck, so that I don't use Beravor to dig for a card that's not there. But that's it, I'm going to do Legacy of Numenor, Doomed 4, since I drew it, and get all these extra resources. So, let's see. I definitely want to play Steward of Gondor. I think I possibly want to play it on Glorfindel, actually. I found in the test play that I wanted more spirit resources for all the threat reduction. Even when this deck finds Keys of Orthanc, I can put that across table onto a tactics hero. Theodred does not need extra resource generation, because a lot of the time he'll be giving his own resource to himself when he quests, and so that will be fine. So otherwise let's bring out a Defender of Ramos and an Envoy Pelagir and add a resource here and put Harmer on a horse. Here, of course, I play Light of Valinor onto Glorfindel straight away. I'll also play Song of Erendil and draw a card. And then let's see, then let's trigger Grima's ability and then pay 1 for an Isengard Messenger, which gains Doomed 1, because I just raised my threat for the Doomed keyword. Isengard Messenger gets +1 willpower until the end of the round. So he's 2 willpower right now. And I'll also bring out the Warden of Healing. And then actually let's play a second song. Oh yes, I forgot. With the Song of Erendil, when this deck raises its threat by 1, I will raise this deck's threat by 1 to reduce this deck's threat by 1. This being the plan that this deck will eat all the threat raises, and then I'll use all the threat reduction over here to just drop down again. But yes, I'll play the second Song of Erendil and draw another card. Okay, Arwen. That will obviously come in handy, but not yet. So, there is 4 threat in the staging area. So let's quest for 1, 2, 5, 7, 9. So long as I make any progress at all, it's fine. So it's just a question of how much threat I think will be revealed by the encounter deck. Let's send Bearer of Orders to be sure, as much as I would like to draw cards. Orc Cave and Prowling Wolf. See, 6 threat. So actually I only make 1 progress, but that's okay. So after questing successfully, I cancel all progress that would be placed on this stage and place 1 time counter on this stage. Now I have to travel. So if I go to the Orc Cave, it potentially gives me more orcs. If I go to Methodras, it increases the threat in the staging area, which could be a problem. So let's go to the Orc Cave first. And we discard the top 2 cards of the encounter deck. One of them is an orc. So it's added to the staging area. An orc with attack 5, which I would rather not deal with right now. Let's see. Because it's 3 threat as well. I think, as I accidentally zoom in and out a bit there. That's better. I really want to keep the threat out of the staging area, so I'm going to risk taking this. Well, I have to take them both. So let's do it like this. And now the Defender of Ramos will defend against the Methodras Orc. When Methodras Orc attacks, the defending player shuffles 1 random card from his hand into his out of play deck. So let's do a random discard. The Wizard's Voice is shuffled into my deck. I was considering actually using it, but which would be a first. I've never used it before, but never mind. So attacking enemy makes an additional attack after this one. I should have used the Wizard's Voice. Okay. So Ramos is dead. And AML will have to defend the second attack. I think player exhausts a character he controls. Does 3 damage, and I shuffle a Rohan Warhorse into my out of play deck. This is undefended. 3 damage. Glorfindel will attack back to deal 2 damage. This orc was supposed to be dead because it was supposed to only make 1 attack, and then AML would have 5 attack, armor 3. So we'd kill it. Now I'm going to have some difficulties. Alright. Well, let's see. We will trigger Greener's ability. Doomed one to play Arwen for 1. Oh, and Songs of Erendil mean I'll eat the 1 threat during the refresh phase, and the 1 threat from that doomed, like so. Then let's also actually pay 2 for Stand and Fight to bring back the Defender of Ranos. And that will be that. Over here, of course, I could play Saruman, but it would be... I mean, he only targets cards in the staging area to put them out of play. So I don't know that that would be much help. I could still do it though. I'll use the hidden cache. Draw another hidden cache. Alright, I'm going to pay 3 for Saruman. So doomed 3, but this deck is going to take 2 points of it. No, its own 3. So I've got this greeting ready to just drop down again. So 1 copy of Map Address is considered out of play this round, and the Isengard Messenger is questing for 3 this round. So now request for 3, 5, 8, 10, targeting the Defender of Ranos, 11, now up against 2 threat. I need to make enough progress that some will go on the quest, which I should have removed a time counter from. So I need to make at least 5 progress. Yeah, I want a bit more of a buffer than I've currently got. Could do Erebor again. Yeah, gonna try it like this. So an Orc Skirmisher, and take cover. Surge, and when revealed, either deal 1 damage to each exhausted character or remove 1 time counter from the current quest. So that will deal damage like this. And Surge. Broken Land. So I'm at 5 threat, I'm making 6 progress for place a time counter. And after Cave leaves players in explored location, the first player searches 5. So the first player is deck 2. Now, there is a handy built-in octagon function for Search X. However, if you're playing two-handed, it doesn't work if you do it for this deck, because of the whole discarding thing. Like, if you do a random discard, it'll go to this discard. So I'm going to have to just do it by hand, so search 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. So I found Mugash a bit earlier than I was expecting. I get to add 1 of these cards to my hand, and the others go into my discard pile. So, don't know what I want. Okay, so not Daron's Runes, because all of these are too potentially useful. already have one copy of Courage, which of course is intended for Beravor. Of course, Dwarven Tomb allows me to pull back whatever I want from my discard. Do I need more resources? I'm going to take the Dwarven Tomb. Yeah, so in fact, Mugash is in play, and so I advance immediately to stage 3. You've found Mugash, but the Orc Captain won't be taken without a fight. He howls and rages against you with the ferocity of a cornered animal. All the commotion is sure to draw more orcs to the fray, and you must subdue the huge Uruk before you can retreat down the mountain. Time 3. Forced after the last time counter is removed from this stage, return Mugash to the staging area and reveal X encounter cards. X is the number of players in the game minus 1. Place 3 time counters on this stage. Progress cannot be placed on this stage unless Mugash is attached to a hero. If the players defeat this stage, they win the game. Well, I was really not expecting to get to this point so quickly. Let's see. I possibly could. Yes, Mugash cannot have attachments, and forced after Mugash is defeated, the first player attaches him to a hero he controls and exhausts that hero. Counts as a captive attachment with the text. Attached hero cannot ready. If attached hero leaves play, the players lose the game. So, I'm going to have to deal with both of these. Traumatic method address will up the threat in the staging area. But the Broken Lands has more quest points, and I don't have a means of placing progress on locations in the staging area at the moment anyway, so let's travel to Methadress. And then if I engage like this, this isn't how I want to do it. Because this guy, after he engages a player, that player must either deal 3 damage to a character he controls or remove 1 time counter from the current quest. I don't want to remove the time counter, so I would have to deal 3 damage. And I would... So I kind of want to engage him here and deal the 3 damage to Saruman. But then I want Mugash to be down here. So let's exhaust the Warden of Healing to heal up. Glorfindel. And Beravor, and then spend 2 lore resources to ready the Warden. Then engage like this. So when this guy engages, I'll deal 3 damage to Beravor. And let's deal out some shadow cards. Now, I do not really have defenders over here. This guy's only attacking for 2 now. If I can take both undefended, then I can actually kill this one. Hasty Stroke would be handy. I don't even remember if it's in the deck though. So if I heal Grima and Glorfindel, and then ready the Warden again, and take this undefended, no attack boost, so Grima can take the damage, and then I take this undefended. Depending player discards an attachment he controls, I'll lose a Song of Arendelle, and put 4 damage on Glorfindel. Okay, now the Defender of Ramas is a Sentinel and 5 defense, so he will defend Methadress Orc if this attack destroys a character, which it does not, but I do shuffle Gandalf into my out of play deck. And then the Envoy of Pelagia will defend against Mugash. Second enemy gets +1 attack for each location in the staging area. She was going to die anyway. AMR is boosted up to 5 attack. So Glorfindel can attack for 3 and take down this prowling wolf. And I'll heal for the last time. Those 2. So now 5, 10, 13 attack, which is enough to bring down Mugash. So the first player attaches him to a hero he controls, Grima, and exhausts that hero. Grima is already exhausted. Attached hero cannot ready. If attached hero leaves play, the players lose the game. So Grima is holding on to the Orc. I can use the Warhorse to ready Hammer, but it makes no difference. So let's get rid of those. Saruman leaves play at the end of the round. I remove a time counter. This Methadress comes back into play. And let's go. Grima is still exhausted. It's Daron's Runes. Draw 2. I'm actually going to discard a Test of Will, because I only need to really hold on to 1 copy of the Test of Will. Oh, I will have this deck eat the threat raise in the refresh phase for this deck. So, okay, so I'm going to play an Unexpected Courage onto Bearable. That's the plan. So I will exhaust her to have this deck draw 2 cards, in the hopes that one of them is useful. Second Breakfast. Top attachment. Oh, Song of Arendelle got discarded. I was hoping I could get back the Keys of Orthanc, but not such luck. But okay, I'll play an Envoy of Pelagia and add the resource to Glorfindel, and I will play Second Breakfast anyway. There are actually no attachments over here. And over here I'll get back that Song of Arendelle. Now, let's see, let's do Grima, doomed 1, but this deck will take both points, and I'll play Grafham's Greeting from 2, drop my threat down to 39. And then let's play Unexpected Courage onto Bearable and ready her. So, now now there is, with Methodist being the active location, 6 threat in the staging area. So let's quest for 1, 2, 5, 7, 9, 11, and I'll exhaust the Warden and heal Arwen and the Messenger, and then ready the Warden. So that was only 11. Use Elrond's Council to lower my threat by 3 and boost it up to 12. That's the best I can really do. Orc territory. When revealed, each player searches the encounter deck and discard pile for a location and adds it to the staging area. If the total threat in the staging area is less than the total willpower of all characters committed to the quest, each orc enemy engaged with the player makes an immediate attack. Or, I play a test of will, and nothing happens. I prefer that version. Another copy of Methodress. So I only make 3 progress, which explores that copy of Methodress, and each player searches 3. So on this side, I can actually just click Search X and select 3. And it automatically moves 3 cards from my out-of-play deck to my discard pile, and I can choose which one I want to put into my hand. Well, it would be nice if I could take both of these two, but as it is, I suppose Gandalf? Gandalf without sneak attack is better than sneak attack without Gandalf. And over here I still have to do it by hand. 1, 2, 3. Well, I'm obviously going to lose Light of Valinor. And then more healing versus more card draw. I'm going to take the Deep Knowledge and then play it and trigger Solver and deal 1 time. So this deck only takes 1 threat. Draw up 1, 2, and 2. Okay. In that case, let's travel to the Broken Lands. Let's shadow these guys up. Now, I didn't really think this through. I should have actually held back the Envoy as a chump blocker, knowing that the defender would have to defend the skirmisher over here. But in fact, yeah, I didn't think that through. Still no tactics events in my discard pile. So, oh, yeah, I'm actually looking at a dead hero. Unless, I mean, if I had thought this through, then I probably would have held back the Envoy rather than anything else. So I guess then defender will defend here, +1 attack, but he has the R1 boost, so he's fine. And I may as well just undefended kill Arnor. So then let's heal up a bit more. Nothing more I can do. Remove a time counter. This is not going to work out. Mugash turned up too soon, basically, is the problem. Primo is still exhausted. I can play Asphalloth. I was expecting to have a while on stage 2 building up before Mugash arrived, I suppose. No, if you trigger the response at all, then Mugash is in play, you have to advance. Because you have to trigger the whole thing. You can't just do part of it. So Mugash is going to go back to the staging area. Practically speaking, I'm not going to be able to kill him a second time. So, which basically aborts this whole attempt. Yep. Okay. Let's try again. Alright, let's try this again. Saruman has tasked us with a dangerous mission to capture Mugash, who's been raiding the surrounding countryside from Methadras, and we have to end this menace. Single horn call will alert everyone. Time 2. Done all the setup. Let's begin the game. I forgot to add mountain locations. Hang on. Ooh, Light of Arnor. Methadras and Methadras and shuffle. Okay, now I'm ready to go properly. So let's play Seeing Stone, Doomed One, and then let's look at my entire deck. Okay, so that's there. Legacy of Numenor is in the out of play deck. I do have 2 copies of Gandalf, 1 copy of Sneak Attack in here. So that's not great. Have Saruman. Only 1 hidden cache in here, which is nice. The card I'm going to add to my hand is going to be the Wizard's Voice. Yeah, I think that this is mostly pretty good stuff to still have in here. And shuffle. The main thing to remember, I suppose, is only 1 sneak attack. So I shouldn't be trying to deliberately dig for that sneak attack. Right. So I want to play Asphalloth. To be honest, I want as much willpower as I can get right off the bat. So I'm actually going to do a Doomed 1 to play Wandering Took for only 1, and forego Light of Valinor for a round. Oh wait, I didn't actually do any other planning here. Which... Yeah, Defender of Ramos. Like we've been. So, now let's quest. There's 4 threat in the staging area. So let's quest 1, 2, 4, 6, 9. Raising the stats threat by 1. 10. Just to be slightly more sure. Okay, take cover. No, I don't have a test of will or the resource to play one. Methadress again, and a Methadress Orc, which I don't have to engage right away. Okay, so I will be adding time counter. Just. Let's exhaust Asphalot to put 2 progress onto Methadress. And let's travel to a different Methadress. And I think I really have to leave the Methadress Orc where it is. I suppose if I'd done things differently, come to think of it, I could have had access to a feint, which would have solved some problems for me, but did not think of that. Okay, I didn't play the Seeing Stone over here. Let's do it now. Did mean that I stayed below the engagement cost of that Methadress Orc, so that was helpful. Okay. I see only 1 copy of Arwen in there, which isn't great, and I'm not seeing... Oh, there is 1 Deep Knowledge, but only 1. The rest are obviously in the out of play deck. Solitarian Deal, 2 copies. All the copies of Light of Valinor made it into the regular deck. 1 Keys of Orthanc. 1 Hidden Cache. Okay. Shuffle. And then it's Deep Knowledge. Find Keys of Orthanc. So, of course I want to play Light of Valinor. Yeah, okay, so Light of Valinor first. And then Keys of Orthanc. And then actually let's use Asphalot to explore Methadress. It says nothing about it needing to be the active location when it's explored. Actually, Actually, I'm going to make it so the one that I made active is the one that I just Asphalothed. That I Asphalothed twice. Because while it means there's more still in the staging area, it means that there isn't 1 active boosting the threat in the staging area. And also the 2 threat is less of a buffer against hitting the quest than the 3 quest points. And as I said, it's not increasing the threat of other locations. So, now search is 3, so... Okay, so this deck I have to do it manually. Right. I want Arwen. And then go like that. Maybe I should have done that first. I could have played Arwen instead of Light of Valinor. No, never mind. And over here, search 3. Okay, I found my Legacy of Numenor. Steward is obviously... Oh, right, yes. Steward is obviously going to be discarded. Yeah, I'm going to take the Legacy. And then I'm going to play it, Doomed 4. So we're up to 35 threat each. I'm going to trigger Grima for another Doomed 1. And play Arwen. Arwen gets a resource. Only one resource from the keys. And then let's lay down this Warden of Healing. Over here, I'm going to put Steward of Gondor onto Glorfindel. And then let's play a Snowborn Scout and put 1 progress onto Methadras. Hold on to a resource for a feint, but let's stick down a couple of Blades of Gondolin. Okay, so now there is 7 threat in the staging area. So let's quest for 3, 5, 6, 8, 10, 11. No, actually, resource there. So 11. And then yeah, I don't know that 11 is going to be definitely enough. I may have to risk it. I'm then going to exhaust the Warden to heal and spend 2 resources to ready him. Arwen will target. Yeah, Ramus. Howling Wolf and Orc Hunting Party deal each Orc enemy in play. A shadow card, each Orc enemy gets minus 15 engagement cost until the end of the round if there are no Orc enemies in the staging area against Surge. So I deal this Methadras Orc a shadow card, but that's it. So I've added 3 threat, and I get to add a time counter here. That worked out fantastically. So let's travel to the map address that has a point of progress on it. And then let's engage like this. Do that regular shadows. The Defender of Ramos. Attack here. Defend here rather. And I will feint the Methadras Orc. So now, for attacking back, Glorfindel will deal 2 damage here, and my Warden will heal up Bearable and Glorfindel. Now Harma is attacking for 4, including the Blade of Gondolin, and Anna also for 4, including the Blade of Gondolin, so they do kill this Methadress Orc. When Harma is declared as an attacker, I will use his ability to return Feint to my hand and discard Steward. Methadress Orc is dead. He plays 2 progress on the quest, which gets eaten up by the location for Blades of Gondolin, and each player searches 3. Okay. All of those could be useful. But I think I'm going to take the Quick Strike. And over here I have to do it manually. Well, all 3 of those are things which I already have, well, apart from the hidden cache. So I suppose I will take the keys into my hand, just because if I'm going to play anything that returns the topmost attachment in the discard, I would rather get back an Unexpected Courage than keys. And because I discarded a hidden cache from my deck, even though it's my out of play deck, it's still discarded from my deck. I'll add 2 resources to Glorfindel. Time counter at the end of the round, this shadow card is gone. Control N, everything's working out much better this time. And get the draw here. Okay, let's play this Darren's Runes. Discard a hidden cache. And let's trigger Asphalt onto Methadress. And then here let's play a Snowborn Scout to put 1 more progress on it. And search 3. Okay, I'll take my 1 copy of Path of Need and lose the other 2 there. And here manually take a Test of Will, lose the other 2. So the staging area is empty, so that's pretty great. Also means I will definitely not be playing Saruman. Having found Path of Need, I want to start stacking up resources on Theodred, which shouldn't be a problem. Yeah, this deck isn't playing anything. Over here, I'm going to actually play a hidden cache. Draw another card. Play Darren's Runes. Let's discard Seeing Stone. It's already done its job. Play Song of Arendelle. Draw a card. Because I have Wandering Took and Song of Arendelle, I can now reassign threat. Well, I can move threat from this deck to this deck at will. Just to explain, if you're not familiar, you move the Took, raising this deck's threat by 3 and reducing this deck's threat by 3, then trigger Song of Arendelle to reduce this deck's threat by 1 and raise this deck's threat by 1. Net result, this deck has raised its threat by 2 and this deck has reduced its threat by 2. Then you transfer it back but this time the Song of Erendil doesn't do anything, for the net result that this deck has reduced its threat by 1 and this one has raised its threat by 1. So that's obviously something to bear in mind. Yeah, I mean, I have no particular urge to use Green's ability just to trigger the keys, because I don't need the extra tactics resources. Let's just play this one I took for the extra 1 willpower. And let's quest 1, 4, 6, 8, 10. 10 against 0. Orc territory. Each player searches the encounter deck and discard power for a location and adds it to the staging area. The total threat in the staging area is less than the total of willpower. Each enemy engaged with the player makes an immediate attack. Okay. So each player searches the encounter deck and discard power for a location. I'm okay with that because I need more locations so that I can keep searching. So I might actually take Broken Lands. It doesn't say that they have to be mountain locations. Let's take 1 copy of Methadras and 1 Broken Lands. And the total willpower committed to the quest is more than the total threat in the staging area, but there are no engaged orc enemies, so nothing happens for the second half of the treachery. And okay, we found another Broken Lands. For a total of 6 threat in staging. Did I remember to shuffle the encounter deck? No, I didn't. Shuffle. Okay, it's still Broken Lands. That's fine. So we make the progress and place the time. And then, under the circumstances, actually no, I'll travel to Broken Lands. And yep, let's trigger the Wandering Took Song of Erendil combo to reduce this deck's threat by 3 and raise this deck's threat by 3, and then I'll play Guardian's Greeting to drop down to 34. I'll exhaust Beravort, have this deck draw 2 cards. Okay. Deal out a shadow card. Defender of Rammus has the boost from Arwen, so that's fine. Dead. Heal. Everything is ready. I am now fully prepared to deal with everything, I think. So, okay, let's pay 2 for this Arnor Hammersmith and pull Unexpected Courage into my hand. Let's have Beravor exhaust to make this deck, draw 2 cards. Found a Gandalf to go with my sneak attack. I will trigger Greener's Doom, use Song of Erendil to take both points of it on this deck. Play Unexpected Courage for 1. That's it for this side. Now let's play another Defender of Rammus. And let's play a Rohan Warhorse. And of course I triggered Doom, so I get the extra resource there. Maybe I should have just stacked all the resource generation on Glorfindel. Okay, and there's 4 threat in the staging area. So that's quest for 1, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. Yeah, it'd be nice if I could go a bit more, maybe. Well, 14. Okay, Surge. And take cover. Yeah, everyone will survive, so it's fine. Got Surge again. Okay, so that's 11 threat in the staging area against my 14. I'm only making 3 progress, which is really not enough. I'll exhaust Asphalt to put 2 more progress on the broken lands. Did I just... Yeah, I put 3 progress. I put 4 progress, but I should have only 3. And then let's play Elrond's Council twice to reduce my threat. That's 6 and adds 2 more willpower, meaning that we will place the extra time counter. Right. Now... let's try to method address this time. And I have to deal with all of these enemies. So, how do I want to handle them? This one I want to faint. Yeah, okay, so if I engagement costs, yeah, so if I use the took Song of Arendelle combo to swap 2 points of threat like that, optional, this guy here, this guy will engage here naturally, and I'll deal 3 damage to Glorfindel, and this one will engage here, then play Faint on the Methadress Orc. One of these is a Sentinel thanks to Arwen, so we'll defend the Skirmisher. Additional attack. Okay. Kind of not okay. Okay, so I pay 1 for quick strike. Have Hammer attack this old hound. He kills it. As it happens, places a progress for the blow to Gondolin. And when he's declared as an attacker, I will use his ability to return Feint from my discard pile and discard Seeing Stone instead, and then I will play Feint to stop this attack, which would have then made another additional attack. Okay, so then Glorfindel can put 1 damage down there, and then I do some healing. And then we start a new round. Remove a time counter. Okay, and I am writing a way going to trigger Asphalor. Broken Lands, while in the staging area, stops me placing progress on locations in the staging area, but the active is still totally fair game. And so each player searches 3. Okay, so obviously I will take the Blade of Gondolin into my hand, and I gain 2 resources because I discarded a hidden cache, which, yeah, Farmer. Playing some of his tactics cards, and on this side, doing it by hand. Testing Will or Stand and Fight could both be good. Don't know that I have great targets for Stand and Fight at present. No, I really don't. Good targets for Stand and Fight are kind of in play, mostly. I don't need the extra card draw for Deep Knowledge. Do already have a Testing Will in hand, but another obviously wouldn't really go amiss, and like I say, there are no particularly good targets for Stand and Fight, so let's pay 4 for Path of Need on the Broken Lands in the staging area. Let's put a Blade of Gondolin onto Glorfindel. Let's actually slightly adjust my attachments. There we go. That's a bit neater. And that will be that. Let's pay 2 for an Isengard Messenger. Exhaust Bearable to draw 2 cards. Play down my 3rd Wandering Took and another Isengard Messenger. Okay. I need 5 attack to kill this, so Glorfindel plus a Blade of Gondolin, and if I hold back the Wandering Took, I can do it. So there's 2 threat in the staging area. Quest for 1. 4, 6, 8, 10. 11, 12, 13, 14. This is why I was careful who I sent. Everyone will still survive. Red surges into Mugash's lair. Alright. So that's an extra 7 threat added. But I still get to place the time counter. Let's travel to Mugash's lair. Now, at the beginning of the encounter phase, reveal the top card of each player's out-of-play deck. Add each revealed enemy to the staging area and discard the rest. Lost a Gondorian Spearman and lost a Goblins Greeting. And of course, this Prowling Wolf is gaining 1 attack for the Broken Lands. Let's engage it here. Shadow, shadow, shadow. Faint on the Methodress Orc. The Defender of Rammus, who is not a Sentinel, will defend this. So that's still fine. The Defender of Rammus, who is a Sentinel, will defend this. So that's fine. Now, yes, Armor and Aemir with the Blades of Gondolin are enough to kill Methodress Orc and place 2 progress to explore Mugash's lair. I will have Armor recur a Quick Strike. See, because Quick Strike is like an emergency button for if I need to trigger Hammer at a moment's notice. I can always Quick Strike to get back any other tactics event that's in my discard pile. Speaking of which, I discard the Wizard's Voice. And then I'm going to place 2 damage there with that attack. And yeah, we're probably okay at this. I don't need to bring back another Feint. Now, Gorfindel is attacking for 4, 5, 6. Is enough to kill that. And then let's use my Warden to heal some characters who are 1 hit point from death. Start a new round, remove a time counter. See, where the first time I found Mugash too quickly, now it's taking too long. Let me take a look at what's in my discard pile. Yeah, Unexpected Courage is still the topmost attachment. Do I have any attachments in this discard pile? I have a Superfluous Steward of Gondor, which is not totally useless because I can discard it to Harmer's ability. So, Second Breakfast, pulling back that Steward of Gondor, and this Unexpected Courage. Then I will play down on the runes to draw 2 cards and discard Keys of Orthanc. This is why I did it in this order. Then let's exhaust Beravor to draw 2 cards. Let's play this Unexpected Courage onto Theodred. And that will be it. And over here, yeah, nothing to do. So, once again, 2 threat in the staging area. Let's quest. See, it's at times like this that I consider letting the time tick down. Well, I might if I kind of had the option. Except even then, 4 reveals would be pretty harsh. If I was playing solo, I'd definitely consider it, because once you've got everything under control, revealing 2 cards is not such a hardship. So 1, 4, 6, 8, 10. Now let's have the Warden heal them then ready. 12. Orc Cave. And Orc Hound, which surges into Orc Hunting Party. There are no Orc enemies in play to have shadow cards. Each Orc enemy gets minus 15 engagement cost until the end of the round. And there are no Orc enemies in the staging area, so it gains Surge. Now this does still have minus 15 engagement cost until the end of the round. And of course it triggers its when revealed. Which... 2, 5, 6, 8. Still okay. Get an extra card. Okay, so that brings me up to 11 threat, but I'm still just fine. So let's travel to the Orc Cave and then ask for Orc to put 2 progress on it. Now, let's see. I want this down here, really. If I have a choice. Yeah, the only way to get that is to have both of these over here, which might be okay. Okay, so yeah, let's have it like this. Now let's play Quick Strike to have Hammer attack and kill this Orc Hound. And pour Faint back into my hand, discarding Steward of Gondor, and then ready to work on Warhorse. Now the Sentinel Defender of Ramos will defend against the Hunter. No damage. Attacking for 2. Seemed like a bit of a waste of a feint, so I'm just going to heal up some damage and have the Hammersmith take it. Takes 1 damage, still fine. And the other Defender of Ramos will defend here. Okay, an additional attack after this one. Don't want to spend my chump blockers needlessly. So now takes 4 for this. No, which I don't quite have. 1, 2, 3 with 2 damage on it. 4 vanilla is 4, including the Blade of Gondolin, so he kills the Hunter by himself. Places a progress for the Blade of Gondolin. Oh, I have to discard cards to travel there. I'll just do it now, no orcs. Yes, and that means the first player searches 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I found Mugash's Guard. And I get to add 1 of these to my hand. Hammersmith is not going to be that useful, is it? No. Warden could be pretty useful, or Dwarven Tomb. I do already have 1 tomb in my hand, which I could turn. Stand and fight. Balance cancel. Mostly those. yeah, let's take the Warden to try and keep pace with all this damage. Okay, so I know where Mugash is. He's in these 8 cards. And yes, and over here, Armor attacks for 3. I also have Verdred for another 2. Kill this. So I'm going to have to deal with this Mugash's guard. While a player controls a hero with Mugash attached, which is not a thing, because I haven't found Mugash yet. I'm not sure if the effects on Mugash's guard have ever affected me, because obviously they only do anything if you find them or haven't dealt with them yet when you're on stage 3 and have got Mugash attached to a hero. Whereas I always tend to end up killing them first. Okay, let's cancel. It's exhaust bearable to have this deck draw 2 cards. Okay, play down my last Snowborn Scout for the progress on the Broken Lands. Play this Gondorian Spearman. Over here, Steward. Play down the second Warden of Healing. And there we go. So questing against 5 threat. 1, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay. Surge. 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 I can discover about the locations. And each orc enemy makes them easy to attack, which is none. So, yeah, I'll go find some locations. No, that won't help. I want Methodress, really. So let's go to Methodress twice. Shuffle. And that was all the first card. Second card, either reveal an additional card or... So we're up to 12 before revealing an additional card for that. Yeah, maybe I could deal with removing 1 time counter. So we end there. We have quested successfully, instead of questing in progress, we add a time counter. Travel to Methodress and fast forward immediately. Oh, actually the Orc Cave would have worked, so it would have been 1 more threat. Never mind. Now, well, I don't actually have to engage Mugash's guard straight away, but it's probably a good idea. So, I can definitely kill it here. Oh, exhausting character control. I had spare snowball scouts. I think they've consistently been coming down here. I'm not doing great at remembering all effects, but I probably would have been fine. So if I can have it like this, and I'll remember this time. Can I actually do? Yes, because this deck optional is the Hunter. Okay, so how much do I need to kill guard? 9, which I have. So let's faint the guard. Non-sentinel Ramus. The sentinel Ramus. And Spearman. So now 2, 6, 10. Invalidated guard goes to the victory display. I'll return faint to my hand and discard second breakfast. Ready harmony. Warhorse plays progress with Blades of Gondolin. Each player searches 3, so I'll do this one first because I know of it. Okay, see, now I'm wishing I had taken that Dwarven Tomb, but then I was going to get another Warden here. But I'll still take the Warden. And now here, search 3, discarding a hidden cache. And I'll take the sneak attack. So I have 2 sneak attacks ready for Gandalf. And yes, Arnor can control this by himself. Glorfindel can kill this by himself. My Wardens have a lot of work to do. 1, 2. New round. Remove time. Play my 3rd Isengard Messenger. Actually, no, play my 3rd Warden of Healing. Let's give my guys a bit more space. Exhaust Paravort. This deck, draw 2 cards. Faramir. Yeah, maybe I should have put the hidden cache resources onto Theodred. Let's just play this hidden cache to draw another card. Let's give Arnor a horse. And this is all fine. So there's 4 threat in the staging area. Let's quest for 1, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. Reveal Methodress Orc and Methodress Orc. We got 10 threat. So add a time counter. Travel to Methodress. Asphalop it. And we're going to get one of these on each side. Shadow them up. Sentinel bonus +1 attack. Don't have a way to boost his defense further, so he is actually dead. And okay, so random discard, which is when it's gone to the wrong discard pile, that goes into my otherwise empty out of play deck. This one I'll faint. So now 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Progress with the Blade of Gondolin, so each player searches 3. In this case, that's just Arwen again. And here, search 3. Still no Mugash. I think I have enough feints, thanks to Farmer. So I'll take the Mighty Prowess. Actually, I suppose I have ways of recurring attachments. Well, I have one way of recurring an attachment. I'll take Mighty Prowess. So Mugash is one of the last 2 cards in there. And we can attack for lots to kill this. Lots of healing. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Remove a time counter. Oh, there's nothing to ask for. Yeah, okay, let's Sparrow over here. Okay, so I found both of my Mighty Prowesses. Let's play them both. And that'll be that. On this side, let's play the final Isengard Messenger. And that'll be that. Actually no, let's also play Stand and Fight to get back that Defender of Lammas. And so let's quest 1, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Against 2 Broken Lands and Prowling Wolf. Place a time counter. Travel to Broken Lands. Engage Prowling Wolf. Defend Prowling Wolf. I can kill the Prowling Wolf. Placing 2 progress. This time I remember to do like a feint and discard Saruman. Yeah, I should have actually exhausted characters, but no, I can do it. Time goes down. This deck has run out of cards. This deck has run out of cards. play that last Song of Arendelle. So why not? And let's play this Envoy of Pelagia. And let's play Faramir. And let's quest. 1, 4, 6, 8, 11, 14, 15, 17. Let's say actually that one is going for this. Methodress, excellent. And an orc skirmisher, so that's 5, 7, 10 progress, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. Okay, travel to Methodress. Engage. The orc skirmisher dealing 3 damage to armor. Aspaloth. Defend. +1 for each location in the staging area, which is 1, so 5. With the Arwen bonus, it's fine. Let's do all my healing. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And let's carry this off. So triggering response is trigger Blade of Gondolin. So each player searches 3. This player has no out of play deck anymore. Search 3, but actually it's only 2. Mugash and Envoy Pelagia, which I will add to my hand. Since advancing to stage 3 is a part of the response when you quest successfully, I can't advance yet. But what I can do is, because that was me triggering the responses on Blade of Gondolin after attached hero attacks and destroys an enemy, so we're still at the point where these 2 heroes have just attacked and destroyed an enemy, so I can trigger this response on Mighty Prowess after attached hero attacks and destroys an enemy, deal 1 damage to another enemy that shares a trait with the enemy just destroyed. So, Orc. So I can put 2 damage onto Mugash, since the Orc Skirmisher was also an Orc. At the end of the round, remove time, and Control N. Alright. So now, let's play the Envoy. And that'll be it. And that'll be it in general. But then in the quest phase, let's sneak attack Gandalf. And drop my threat by 5. That's 4, 5, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 against 6. Reveal. Okay, this time I'm going to cancel that treachery. So I'm 18 against 9. I've definitely quested successfully, cancel all progress, and since Mugash is in play, advance to stage 3. You found Mugash, but your captain won't be taken without a fight. He howls and rages against you with the frosty of a cornered animal. All the commotion is sure to draw more orcs to the fray, yet you must subdue the huge orc before you can retreat down the mountain. Time 3. Now, let's travel to the Broken Lands, which is, of course, the path of need. And this would be more relevant if I had any heroes who were good at defending. Gandalf has left play, which means Arnor has his bonus. That's optional. Mugash down here. And now let's have the Methodist Hulk here as well. Since this deck is first player, it'll happen naturally. Deal out shadow cards. And then let's sneak attack Gandalf again. Dropping down to 30 threat. Let's faint the Methodress Orc, because I don't want to shuffle anything from my hand into my out of play deck. And then let's deal with Mugash. Well, the Snowball Scouts aren't doing anything else. If this attack destroys a character, remove one time counter from the current quest. Okay, so remove one time counter from the current quest. I need 10 to take down Mugash, including Blades of Gondolin and the fact that the character has left play. 6, 10. They don't exhaust to attack because of Path of Need. So let's do that and attach Mugash to Theodred and plus progress for Blades of Gondolin and deal damage for Mighty Prowess. I didn't really need to sneak attack Gandalf, to be honest. Because now we still have 10 attack that can take down this Methodress Orc. Put 2 more progress down there. Let's just, in fact, let's Asphalloth first and then put the 2 progress, which means I'll lose the Path of Need. Let's not do that. Okay, I can do some healing for 2 points of damage that is still on the board. Oh no, there's one more. Gandalf returns to my hand. I remove a time counter. Ironically, this is kind of a very clear demonstration of the sort of thing that the time mechanic was supposed to avoid. The way that decks could spend forever building up and then smash through boss encounters that was supposed to be kind of difficult, except here it just happened by random chance because it took me that long to find Mugash, but I never quested badly enough to let the time effect go off on stage 2. Though, with how well I was set up by the end, I might have been able to deal with it anyway. So, we still quest without exhausting. Edward can't because he's permanently exhausted to hold on to the orc here. But 1, 2, 5, 7, 9, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 23 against an empty staging area. Methadress and wolf. So that's 5. I'm making 18 progress, which clearly is not enough, so let's now use Asphalot to get rid of these broken lands. Oh, sorry. Retcon, but I meant to play Gandalf and drop my threat down to 26, which also means that I have 4 more willpower. I can exhaust Faramir targeting this deck for an extra 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 19, 11, 12, 13, 14. And then for the sake of my score, I'm going to Dwarven Tomb, Goblin's Greeting. And yeah, okay, 42 against 5. Right, there we go. I thought my computer wasn't responding now. 37 progress out of 15. Mugash is attached to a hero, otherwise I couldn't actually place all that progress. And I've won the game. So yeah, after the first attempt went far too quickly, and I got stuck dealing with Mugash before I was ready for it, this time took far too long. I would usually expect to have a happy medium, but sometimes random chance will do these things to you. At this point I would look at the things in my deck that I didn't get to use, but I have no decks left. Basically everything worked. And you know, for the record of people who get worried about Grima in multiplayer, 2-player used Grima a decent amount until I really didn't need to anymore, and we ended with threats of 26 and 32. So yeah, thank you for watching. Come back for the next one. Goodbye.